Hello? How's everybody doing? Sorry about that earlier. YouTube was bugging out or something. I probably could have started the stream at like 6:15. It would have been fine. But I went and I did some stuff, so well, okay, I didn't do anything important. I actually just got some Binding of Isaac in. So sorry to delay the stream for that, but I wanted to make sure that YouTube wasn't going to have any more issues. Come on. There you go. Heck yeah. Okay, cool. Is it not working? Huh. Sorry, okay. Okay, cool. Never mind, everything's fine. If for some reason my phone, it's not working. I don't know why. Anyway, we'll get started. Yeah, what the heck's going on with my phone? Oh, there it goes. I think. Shoot. There we go, never mind. We're cool. Awesome. I think I was looking at the old the VOD for the failed stream, which I'll probably have to delete. But anyway, how's everybody doing? There's no stream tomorrow because I have an alumni event for my university, so keep that in mind. So before we do anything else, well, actually, I'm gonna go someplace real fast here. First off, we're gonna equip this Dark Ring. We're gonna equip Dark Clutch. Yes, we are so back. I'm really grateful that YouTube fixed its stuff. Dude, it's so crazy how often YouTube is working that the one time YouTube doesn't work, it's like, oh my god. You know what I mean? Like I do have to say that. I have to admit that. This is like, I literally wake up, turn on YouTube, it always works, right? Wake up in the morning, flip on YouTube, it's always working. You know, get home, YouTube's working, right? There's a one time the YouTube isn't working. Yeah, it is. It actually is. It legitimately is. You know. And then we remember why it's so awesome when it goes skawonkus. When it says, no, I'm not going to live stream for you today. Yeah, I pay for YouTube Premium too. I think it's just so much better than seeing like crappy ads for just like, you know, beer and Coca-Cola or whatever, you know. Well, we're getting Homunculus Mace right now. Yeah, it is. It is. Which YouTube is the main social media, or it's the main entertainment source I use. Basically. Essentially all the time. Okay, we're gonna buy a Homunculus Mace. Be safe. And then I'm going to get Red Rust Scimitar. Or not Red Rust Scimitar. The other one. Red Rust Twin Blade. Well, tell me. We're gonna do a little side by side. We're gonna do some analysis. Gone so soon. It's gonna take me a while to get it. Where even is it? Isn't it in Shred of Amana? Where is it? So we can do some testing later for physical damage. Red Rust Twin Blade. Red Iron Twin Blade. Sorry, I don't know why it's a Red Rust. Between the third. Okay, yeah, it's in Shred of Amana. Yeah. I know where it is. Yeah, I do recommend YouTube Premium. I do highly recommend YouTube Premium. Personally. Yes, it does. Which is why, but it's really important because strength scaling is slightly better than dex scaling. So we're gonna see what I can do. Maybe not like immediately. But next time I respec, we're gonna try it. Oh shoot. No, I broke my stupid ring. God, I hate that enemy. Crap. Whatever. Yeah, so we're gonna do... Yeah, I actually learned that relatively recently as well. In most cases, it doesn't really matter, right? Because your weapon choice is more important than, like, whatever. You know what I mean? No, so Great Axe I don't like, to be honest with you. It's okay. Probably the best strength weapon in the game for, like, average play is the Great Club. Great Club or Large Club. And you can get a copy of it... whatever it's called. Red Iron Twin Blade is also really good too, so the weapon I'm getting right now is also really good, but it shows up super late in the game. I think it's okay. I can't remember... No, there's something really wrong with it though, unfortunately. I hate to say this, there's something like insanely wrong with it. But I can't remember exactly what it was. Yeah. Great Club is busted. Straight busted. Straight broken. 100% broken. Yeah, Large Club's pretty good too. His White Hander's really good too. That's kind of more of a quality weapon. Because it doesn't have as good a damage type, and it scales with both stats. So if you want to do like a build with some decks, that's really good too. But definitely, Great Club is kind of overshadows. And then you can also do Mace too. Mace is pretty good. It's not my favorite weapon in the game, but it's pretty good actually. I mean, you could do anything you wanted at that point. There's plenty of good. Well, what I did when I did strength was you do third Dragon Ring and Chloranthy Ring, and then you equip a and then I power stanced the Great Club and the Large Club, just for the memes, and that was actually really fun. Because what you do is you just like hit a boss for like 1,500 damage, and then you run out of stamina instantly. Yeah, but then you regenerate it all fast enough that it doesn't matter because of Chloranthy. And that was actually really fun. I actually had a lot of fun with that. I don't think it's optimal, but it was really fun. Shoot. Definitely not optimal, like I said, but very, very fun. Okay, I think I'm just going to try poison here. Oh, this is gonna suck. What if I just grab it, actually? Can I just grab it? You know, let's just do that. Forget about all this nonsense. I got infinity iframes. Oop. There it is. Okay, cool. Never mind. We're good. Well, yeah. Oh, is it not working all of a sudden for you? Is it being an issue for you? Or is it having problems? Hello. Okay, so it's working on my end. But I know that's been an issue. So, anyway, now we go to... Phosphor Steel. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me know if there's any issues at all with it. Let me know. I'm keeping my eyes on it as best I can on my end. Okay, so we got that. We have to upgrade them though. Oh, okay, that's okay. Different, yeah. Cool. Oh, I need a ton of souls for that. Wow. Okay, whatever. Smelter Demon Soul, yeah, whatever. Yes. I think it's okay. I can't remember exactly. It's like average. You know? Like, it's like a lot of weapons are pretty much kind of the same, except for the thrusting weapons that are a little bit better. Or except for, like, rapier, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's Bandit Great Axe. Maybe I don't know what you're talking about, actually. But I know there's some rare drop weapons that I'm not always 100% familiar with. Oh yeah, we're at Ivory King, by the way. Hold up, let me look that up. Yeah, so the Great Axe movesets are just not as good in this game. Maybe I have used this. No, so the problem with those Great Axes is you can't, like, pancake and stuff. So they kind of just do nothing. They have short range, and you can't pancake with them when they're really heavy. They're, like, heavier than, they're even heavier than a Great Club, and so they just do everything wrong. And so it's like, if you're gonna use a weapon that you're, like, even this Y-hander is better. Yeah, it's really unfortunate with those weapons. Very, very unfortunate with those axes, because they're really cool. I really wish they were super awesome weapons. And then if you really want to use a great axe, if you really want to use a big huge axe, you can use Black Knight's Great Axe. That's really fun. That's a super fun weapon. There's probably a use for them with their rolling attacks or something in PvP or something, but I kind of even doubt that. I feel like they're just kind of underwhelming weapons. Because you don't have the range, you don't have the reach. It's like, I don't even like Greatsword, and Greatsword is like a billion range. I don't like King's Ultra Greatsword, and I don't like Greatsword. Because they're, like, theoretically better, but they're theoretically really good weapons, but I think in practice they underperform for what you get, for how expensive they are to wield and stuff like that. Because you need, like, massive stats. Yeah, Washing Pole's another disappointing weapon. They just, I don't think, does as well as it should. Oh, shoot. I'm cooked. No, never mind. Oh, shoot. Ow. Jeez. I hate that backstep they do. It's incredible. Oh, shoot. Ow. Come on. I think I've let this get out of control, unfortunately. Oof. Ah, come on. We'll get there. It's like really heavy too. That's the problem with katanas, is they have weird stat requirements, or their stat requirements aren't that bad, but they're like, they don't attack that fast, and they also have they also consume like a huge amount of stamina to swing, and they don't really deal that much damage, and they're also weirdly heavy for what they are too, in like every Dark Souls game. So it's like there's really no use for them, I think, relative to like a yeah, Baby Plum is a really tough boss. That's a very, very... Well, I mean, it's good. It is good. It's heavier than Great Club, though, which I think is actually a big deal. Because you can actually fit on a lot of armor. And as long as you're not in Covenant Champions or something, armor is actually really great to have, I think. Yeah, apparently it's really good, I guess. But I've never really found it all that interesting, personally. But yeah, you can use that one too. That's another really great one. I think there's also a large club in Lost Bastille. I don't know. It's been a while. You'll have to forgive me. Oof. Guys, gentlemen. Please. The ass kickings will be distributed one at a time. Uh oh. Okay. Apparently not. I'm the one who gets the ass kicking distributed. The butt kicking distributed. Oh, great or large club. Yes. Yeah, Baby Plum is like the hardest boss in the first floor probably. Yeah, really great weapon. Really great weapon. Like only slightly worse than Great Club. It's like super light too. It's like 5 or something. It weighs as much as like a katana or something like that. It's like really stupid. Or it's like 8. It weighs like 8 or something. It's like super light for what it is. Very good. It's like this Zweihander is like 12. Yeah, this Zweihander is 12. Wow, I was right on the money with that. Yeah, it's like super. Yeah, the lightness of it is actually really awesome. It's like the thing that I love the most about those weapons is how light they are. It's like a rapier. If you have a rapier, you never have to worry about weight. Right? This thing only weighs 1.5. It's like a joke. Same with the bow. The bow also only weighs 2. You can have it equipped at all times. It just doesn't matter. And then same principle, and so those clubs, when you're using those big heavy weapons, it's like a big deal. Like the weight of them actually really matters. It's like if your weapon weighs like 20, that's like really bad. Because that's the thing about a weapon that weighs 20, and there are weapons like that where they weigh 20, and it's like, what is this giving you relative to, like, a Zweihander? You know what I mean? Like a Zweihander weighs, okay? Like a Zweihander weighs, like, like a Zweihander weighs 12. Any weapon you're using instead of a Zweihander better be darn good. Or any weapon you're weighing that weighs more than a Zweihander better be darn good. It better do like everything. Ugh. Yeah, have a good night, Relsay. Thanks for showing up. It's nice to see you. Like, a Zweihander does so much for you. It literally does so much. That's the reason why I hate the Greatsword. And I think the Greatsword is like a huge meme weapon. And I don't know why everyone loves it, because, well, you get really good damage. You do actually get really good total AR out of it. But that only matters against bosses, and if you're fighting a boss, you can just use a mace, right? Like, you don't need to power stance 2 greatswords to deal damage to a boss, right? Like, even if you were power stancing 2 huge weapons, you could just power stance a great club and a large club, or a dragon tooth and a great club. It doesn't matter, right? Like, you just power stance any 2 things, and then you're getting strike damage. And yeah, you're getting slightly less total AR, but the AR you are getting is strike damage, which is just always going to be better, basically, in like 100% of scenarios. Like, less so in this game, right, than say like Dark Souls 1, but still. Oop. Ah, come on. Oh, man. I did this flawlessly last night. Oh, man. Shoot. Oh, man. Yeah, I did this like 100% flawlessly last night. Oh, come on. Scumbags. Ah, shoot. Gonna try it again. Just gotta do it all over again. Do it all over again. Do it 15 times over again. If I had to fight 15 Ivory Kings, if I had 15 different Ivory Kings with 15 different first phases, I'd still do it all over again. It's a reference to a YouTube poop. So, sorry if you don't get that one. Maybe I should. So Giant Warriors Club is really, you need Bracing Knuckle. But it's okay. The problem with that weapon is you can't power stance it. So you don't even, so it's like fine. but you can't. You never get the satisfaction of like spending your entire stamina bar to hit a boss like huge, big number. And like if you're power stancing like that, you need tons of defenses to try to make up for the fact that you're leaving yourself insanely vulnerable half the time. Like, you need to be able to like tank like a Fume Knight hit right on the nose, and just like shrug it off. And so like Giants Warriors Club is really cool in theory, but well yeah the bigger issue is, so its stat requirements are really high. It weighs plenty, and then on top of that you still need Bracing Knuckle Ring. It's one of those weapons. And there are some weapons, there's a very small number of weapons that I think Bracing Knuckle Ring is worth. But not that one, as far as I can tell. At that point you could just use King's Ultra Greatsword. Oh, come on. So he knocked me out of the crit animation. But I'm sure you could use it. Oh. Save. Second one. Oh, come on. Yeah, that's the problem, is it's like all the way at the end. You could use it for DLC, but if you're gonna use that weapon, just use Fume. I know, it's like really stupid. That's the problem with this. But if you're gonna use like a huge weapon like that, just use Smelter Hammer or something. Like, do yourself a favor and just use stupid Smelter Hammer. It's like a huge waste of points to even bother equipping Smelter Hammer. I don't even think the AR is all that amazing on it. Even if you do, because I think, I don't know though. I need to look at a table to remember what the total AR is. Yeah, that's true. It makes me hungry. I'm like, dinner. That's the plan, I guess. So you invade somebody with that, and then your plan is to get them hungry. Yeah. So they see that and they're like, I could really go for a big old rotisserie chicken right now, and then they get distracted and you kill them. And that's the plan there. That's the game plan. So you gotta give Dark Souls 2 that's really unique. There's no Dark Souls game that lets you try that. Like, imagine if there was like a burger costume or something in Dark Souls 3, and you could like invade somebody and like with the plan of distracting them with hunger. Like have like a really tasty looking burger. Oh. Oh. That would be awesome. Honestly, if they ever add something to Dark Souls 3, that would be... If they ever add something like Elden Ring, that's what I would want. Maybe like a big old bowl of ramen. Ooh, that sounds good. Onion armor. Yeah, I guess that's true. Makes me hungry, for sure. I had a bowl of rice before the stream, but it wasn't enough. Finally, we got it, yeah. We're finally getting our hands on it. Super Pyromancer. Oh, shoot. Oh, come on. Oh, man. Botched. Game on. Come on, gentlemen. Sir. Sir. Need you to get in line. There you go. Come to the front of the line. Boom. Boom. Love it. See, I knew this guy in high school who would always say live it, love it. That was like his thing. He would always be like, and it was always ironic. He never meant it sincerely. It was like 100% ironic. Whenever he hated something, he'd be like, live it, love it. I don't know what happened to him. I have no clue what happened to the guy. Okay, finally. Yeah, you know it'd be nice if I could take a bite out of a nice juicy onion right now. Mmm, onion. Fly. Okay, Ivory King. Okay, Mr. Ivory King. Yeah, absolutely. I love talking about Dark Souls 2. I'm actually not the best at it, so feel free to do your own experimentation. Definitely, I'd love to hear it. Like, I'd love for you to be like, oh, you were wrong, by the way, or something. So feel free to do that as well. Give it a test and just, like, tell me what you think. But that's as far as I know. Oh, come on. He switched back to me! A fool. Oh boy. We're cooked. Never mind. We're fine, I think. Oh, I do have a denial. He's gonna go for me. Nope. It staggered him. Oh, shoot. Well, that didn't work. Oh, come on. Ah, jeez. Yeah, it actually sounds like... Yeah, give that a shot. You'll have fun with Lost Sinner doing that, too. Yeah. But I think it works. You might even do enough stamina damage to, like, stagger some bosses. I don't know for sure. But there's a very real possibility you will deal enough stamina damage to, like, straight up stagger bosses. Where is it? Yeah, I know. It's like really dumb. Just like generic bad. Me doing bad at Dark Souls. After like all that work. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Nope. I do not want to talk to Elsana. As awesome as that NPC is, instead, we gotta go fight the boss. Yeah, it's like really foolish of me. It does, yeah, if it were any worse. I mean, well, technically, this is the run back. Technically, this first phase, like, is the run back. Is the problem. Like, you can't ever really get a fair fight against him. He's, like, not that hard a boss. And yet, he's just hard enough to be a huge pain. There we go. One down. There we go. Really huge luck with the AI here. What up, brother? Go for it. Come on. Oh, ah, jeez. They hate to see a girl boss winning. Well, Sir Alon, yeah, that's the thing about Sir Alon. The run back really isn't that bad, but is just bad enough to be annoying. There's like so much RNG in this boss though, because depending on how much they target you or don't target you or do other random crap. Oop. Look at those dirty iframes. Those just horrifyingly filthy iframes. Oh. Boom. Oh boy. There we go. Boom. It's like every cycle, this game is so long too that every cycle I have to like relearn the bosses again. Okay. Pretty good so far. What even are these? Oh, it's just armor and junk. I gotta juice up. Well, it's okay. It does. Well, oh, yeah, Sir Alon's, yeah, Sir Alon's does. Like, I mean, I'll give this first phase, at least it's interesting. But it does feel kind of lame that I have to cheese it with the Zweihander. That it's like you just like have to cheese it with the Zweihander, or you need to like pancake them or whatever. I think you can't even pancake them. I think you can't backstep them and you can't pancake them. You have to Zweihander or Murakumo cheese. Or Arc Sword. Like you can use like either a curved great sword that has like a stagger animation, or that has a critical hit setup, or you can Zweihander. Maybe you could King's Ultra Greatsword, I don't know. Oh come on, me? See, I can't even tell what this guy's doing. I hate this like AI follower. Oh boy. Jeez. You scumbag. Oh my gosh. Oh, I need to like, I don't know. It's so dumb. Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I don't know. Maybe if I rescue one fewer night or something, it's fine. But I don't know I don't know if a door stays open. If you rescue one fewer night, does the door just stay open? I don't even know. I don't think I've ever done it with only 3 nights. Whatever. That's like really, I know, really frustrating for sure. Whatever, we'll get it. Then I'll go to the grocery store after this. I'll buy some tomatoes, maybe some cilantro. I'll toss that in I'll do something with that. Very frustrating for sure, though. It's like so stupid that you have to like master the first phase, and then you have to master the second phase. He's like not that easy a boss. Well, there's 1. 2. Wow, okay, we're really cleaning up this time, though. See, it's very... Wow, what? There's literally none. We just wiped them all out in, like, one quick blast. Okay, come on. Come on, champ. Uh oh. Wow, iframes. They're gonna try me in a tribunal for crimes against Dark Souls 2 for having this many iframes. Aldi himself is gonna be there like, you have 17 iframes. It's like, and we'll call our first witness to the stand, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He has 17 iframes. I saw it on the stream. Yeah. Oh. What about you, Super Mario? I saw the iframes. They were so many. He was dodging attacks he shouldn't. Uh-oh. Fireball. Oh, there we go. Boom. Oh. And you actually don't want to kill them off too fast, because then you get one more Pyromancer in the fight. Well. Well, at least I have a lot of souls for this, actually. Oh, come on. Honestly, maybe if I just let him die, they promise they won't target him. Alright, there they go. He's probably gonna beat them, though. If I just keep sitting here, he's probably gonna beat them. Very fascinating boss fight, for sure. Okay. Okay, I gotta lock in for every king. Yeah. I counted the 17 frames. They were so disgusting. He's like crying. Well, at least you can kill the dragon fast. Yeah, it's like Super Mario sitting there crying. He's like, I've never seen so many iframes. What am I gonna tell my kids? It's like the witness doesn't have to continue if they don't want to. This man is clearly sick. And they put me in jail. Dark Souls 2 jail. Oh boy. Yeah, and he knows. Oh god, he knows. He knows. He knows to target me now that I'm weak. Or no, it's probably just bad luck. Okay, just kill the guy, please. Just kill him. Just kill him. Oh. Oh. This boss, like, isn't that hard, but he's not that easy either. Oh, come on. You dude. Hey, finally, there goes the White Knight. The Loist Knight. Oh. Okay. Oh boy. There you go, Jesus God. Okay, whatever. I did it. Yeah. Super Mario's like, and then I counted the frames, and they were so high. The frames. There were so many of them. I have nightmares about those dodge rolls. Yeah, it's true. I mean, you know, I could have done better, but it's how it is sometimes. You know. You gotta just never give up. Just keep trying. Till you get it. Sometimes at least. Or, well, for this. Yeah, I mean, basically always, yeah. Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you very much. And I get a, because I died so many times, I get a ton of souls. I get a ton of free souls from killing the Waste Knights, so it's not all bad. It's just a little goofy. So now we go, we level up, oh, we level up twice. Really? I just put in this dex? Yeah, I guess. ATN? Or no? I guess I could just do ATN. Or I could do Dex. I don't know. If I get to 60 Dex, I think it's worth a couple points of damage. And then I can, like, power stance. I don't know. Honestly? Yeah. Yeah, enjoy. Or, yeah, feel free. Or, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for showing up at all. So just go more Dex, I guess. I'll think on it. Maybe I just need more HP, honestly. Because if I get a power stance at all. Okay, so Dark Fire. Honestly, if I can just get the timing of it down, it's probably better. But I don't really think it's necessary either. We still have to kill Aldia. How many soul vessels do I have? 2, okay. Let's buy some of these. Let's go. Yeah, we'll buy 15 of those. I'm gonna do some testing. We're gonna do some live fire testing right now. What up, Salden? Give me my soul vessel. Give me my soul vessel.
Do you? You have died here. May they? Do you see? That was paid.
Oh, I don't have enough NPCs. So I only have 2. Okay, whatever. Maybe we'll try it next cycle. We'll just kill Aldea. Where is he? Dringlick. It should only take me like 2 seconds to kill Aldea. Where's King's Ring? There it is. Oh, sorry. One thing I could do, actually, maybe we'll do that. Hold up, let's... Well, first, let's actually go... Or no, it's Strayed. I don't have Strayed. How lame. Well, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. How are we gonna do this? How am I doing this? No. Well, okay, no. We'll wait till next cycle. No, I know what I'm doing. We are gonna test this out next cycle. But we're gonna wait until we unlock Strayed and McDuff next cycle. That's what we're gonna do. Because I have... Where is it? King's Ring. Because I want to test physical. But I don't have Nil Greatsword fully upgraded either. Right, so... something I might do is I might go to 30 face, 0 int, 60 dex, 60 strength, and use like Curved Nil Greatsword, or just like Ice Rapier, or a Mace, or Red Iron Twin Blade or something, and I'll go through and I'll try like a whole bunch of different weapons out, and I'll see kind of how they do when they're uninfused relative to being infused, and then I'll try more power stancing too. Honestly, if I just get used to power stancing, it's probably going to be really good when I figure out how to do it. But I just haven't gotten to it yet. The question is whether or not I can sneak in those double stabs, power stancing. Because if I can, that's really good. But actually being able to sneak in those double stabs is really hard. And then... oh, I don't need my hat. Yeah, Aldea, Skull of the First Sin, all that stuff. Yeah, giant fireball. One shot me. Yeah, I get it, Aldea. Don't worry about it. You don't have to try to explain it to me, Aldea. Freaking Aldea. Like, look at him. Look at this guy, he's balding. No hair on his head at all. Okay, he's very obviously balding. Very obviously he's out of hair. Okay, you know. You gotta accept the fact. You know, Aldea. It's like, just don't even pretend. Like, I can see how little hair you have. I can see how bald you are. What's up? Oh, did you really? Dude, awesome. That's actually really awesome. How are you doing, dude? Or you really how do I put this? Yeah, it is missable. You can go, I think you can go back and fight him still. I think if you I think if you kill Vendrick, he or maybe you could try that. You could kill Vendrick and then try. There's a possibility he respawns, and you don't have to kill Ancient Dragon to do it. Oh, fudge, fudge, no. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Ah, don't worry, it's not too much. Let's just say it ain't my favorite From Software boss. Oh, wait, if you kill Vendrick, you should have fought Aldia. Isn't the trigger condition killing Vendrick? Or did you kill Vendrick after or something? Uh-oh. Because I thought the only condition for fighting Aldia was killing Vendrick. Maybe I'm wrong. Weird. Because I swear it's only a Vendrick. You only have to kill Vendrick. It's not DLC bosses. You got all four... Yeah, because... yeah, that's weird. That's really weird, actually. Do you have the original version instead of Scholar of the First Sin or something? Oh, shoot. Dark Lurker doesn't affect it at all. Definitely. Dark Lurker most certainly does not affect it. No, as far as I know, it's just Vendrick. Just killing Vendrick is the only thing. That's really weird. That is really, really, really weird. I'm sorry. You missed out on killing Aldia. Hmm? That's weird. Because that's how you get the that's how you get the other ending. That's how you get the End of Fire ending, is you fight Aldia. Huh. Aldia requires scripted scenes, which I missed. Wait, you didn't talk to him? But I thought you were forced to talk to him.
I love everything. But
Huh. Yeah, I don't know then. Because I've never, ever not... well, you should probably have 60 int, honestly. Well, I mean, you know, whatever. We've already watched the credits like twice. So it's fine. It's fine. We've already watched the credits twice. Okay, we need arrows before I go to New Game Plus. We need to buy arrows real fast. Not that they're that important. But there's kind of no point in not buying them. Okay, where is it? We'll go large soul Bray Warrior. Boom. Or I guess we can eat some of these too, actually. Whatever, I maybe don't need them. Okay, so we go buy item, arrows, iron arrow, boom. We'll eat some of these giant souls too. For the in-build, should it have the Staff of Wisdom? Soul Spear. You have to farm Crystal Soul Spears. Those are like really hard to get. They're not like that hard to get, but they're really hard. They're kind of hard to get. Which guy? Who are you helping? Okay. What are we doing? Reinforcing. So, okay. So we go... Where is it? Where is it? I guess we could sell some stuff too. Homunculus mace. Dude, that's why I have never done that in my whole life. That sounds like so much work. For those for this like dumb meme like katana that looks the same as every other katana. Oh, you need 20 decks for this? Wow. What was another weapon I was gonna look at? So this one. Do I have a friggin' branch? No, I get you. Like, if you want every item in the game, that's how you gotta. That's what you got to do. Or that's what you got to do. Like, I get that, but it's not something I've ever done. I can respect though wanting to have every item in the game. I've done that for Terraria. Terraria was the game I did that for, and it was really fun. I actually really enjoyed doing that. Do I need to rescue? It's fine. I don't need Chima Wands. It's stupid. Wait, what was I looking at again? Okay, so we have Homunculus Mace, Curved Nail Greatsword. We need to take the infusion off of one of these. We need to de-infuse one of these. This one, oh, this one's fine. So we'll go none. Drop that off. This is 4 still, but we're gonna go to 5 in just 1 second. 173. There's just no way that pure physical. I don't think that pure physical is ever gonna beat pure magic. Where am I going? What am I doing? So I got Homunculus Mace to plus 10. And I got... okay, Red Iron... Oh, wow, look at those. That actually looks pretty good. And then I got Red Iron Twin Blade to... like, plus 8. Okay, so we can do that. We can finish off the Red Iron Twin Blade. And then when I'm just prepping some stuff for testing. Dude, those items are made to be, like, impossible. Like, you are a mad warrior if you have those items. Like, you are a lunatic if you had those items. No offense. Oh, wait, so 1, 3. Okay, we need 6. Do we need Firestone? I guess I'll just right now. Where's Chima Want? I don't need Chima Want, but where is it? Chima Want. Yeah, but you do want to go all the way to 60 int when you can. It's not that important. Oh, never mind. Chima Want's no good. Never mind. I don't want Chima Want. I actually do not want Chima Want. Because Chima Want requires a faith of 40. And I don't have a faith of 40, I have a faith of 30. But I need to take this character back to the drawing board a little tiny bit. Okay, so we go Reinforce. Where is it? Red Iron Twin Blade. Okay. So that's ready to go. Put on my hat. And then we're gonna go to the next New Game Plus cycle. Oh. Yeah, no, I get that. I have friends. I've tried to help people too. Yeah, no, I get that. I understand that. It is so tough to try to help people. Like people you actually care about. It's really rough. Yeah. Tried a lot of times. what ends up happening is that people, I think what ends up happening with a lot of people is they like, well, it's one of these things where people like the easy path. Like that's the people like the path of least resistance. They don't like to have. They don't want to have to actually work for what they want. They want to have to like not to get too serious and like drag the mood down a little bit, but like what ends up happening is that like people don't want to have to fight for what's important, you know. But they don't understand that like whatever it's called. Like if you look back in time, right? Like you remember the Civil War or whatever, right? That only lasted 5 years. So you could make the argument that the Confederacy wasn't just weak, they were like really weak, right? But most people's lives, most problems that people have, or most things that people will do, spend their life doing, they spend their life doing longer than 5 years, right? And so it's kind of, it's like ironic that like small problems are more important than big ones, right? You have these issues where like little tiny optimizations are significantly more important for a person than things that seem like they're really important, right? Does that make sense? Somebody who can make the right kind of changes, like just, you know, they've done more than people who make the appearance of trying really hard. Does that make sense? Like there's making the appearance of trying to do things, and then there's people who actually like change the rules of the game by changing up their like personal behaviors, right? And it's like that's not a skill that can be taught. You can't teach people how necessarily to break the rules, right? You can't teach people how to do that. How to like see past like the wheel. It just like spins infinitely to like a better tomorrow, right? It doesn't necessarily work like that. But I mean, and so it's really frustrating, yeah. Where you will know people who will just like not get it. Like no matter how hard you try to explain it to them, they just won't get it. Like and the problem is that if everyone was on the same page, it would make a lot more sense. But no one's ever on the same page about anything because society doesn't work like that, right? It's like you know, it's like I knew a guy. So it's like my brother-in-law, right? Where he's like a smoker and a drug addict, and it's like, how do you explain to a guy like that, you know? It's just like, how am I going to have my kids around this guy? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like sad, you know? It's a real thing, and it's really sad. It's really, really sad, you know? And that's a great example. That's like a perfect example. Like a 10 out of 10 example of like, you know, people just really don't, they just like, you know, and that's the thing is that society just isn't on the same page, right? I mean, it's like even the government isn't on the same page because they say one thing, they say, oh, well, you know, this is bad for you. But then it's like tobacco smoking in particular, but then they turn around and then it's legal and they get tax dollars off of it. Right. So it's like the tobacco industry itself is like, like the government is corrupt. They're part of the mafia. They're basically, essentially, they're kind of like the mafia in that sense. Not in every way, right? They still do things like maintain roads and, you know, pay for schools or whatever. But at the end of the day, a component of their premise is that they engaged in essentially the mafia, right? So like you can imagine it. Let's say you're living in Sicily, right, which is where the mafia is from, right? Let's say for this example you live in Sicily, right? Well, you know, you're in a small town in Sicily. You know the Don, right? Let's say you know the Don, right? Because you know mafiosos are always into that idea that they're like actually like knights, right? Which knights themselves are also just mafiosos as well, but forget about that for a minute. Let's assume that knights are different than mafiosos, which they're not. Okay, so like historical knights are essentially mafiosos for all practical intents and purposes in many cases, right? But So, mafiosos love to have this like knightly attitude, right? And in that way, okay, a mafioso is more than happy to you know, oh, I pay for the streets in this town, you know. And so the government's kind of just the same way in some ways. When you have things like the tobacco industry and stuff like that, with like whatever it's called, people, you know, lobbyists or whatever, right? And I get that not every problem can be solved easily, but yeah, I mean that's exactly it right there. It's just like, you know, but I mean that's the things that I quit smoking years and years ago, and so, you know, where the government fails, and where the government is essentially like a fake institution, and is essentially legitimate, right? What you end up with is a scenario where the individual is, well, sort of, depends. But yes, in many cases, in some cases. Well, the government itself isn't inherently evil, right? It's more complicated than that. It's not like the government is just a mafia, okay? The government is obviously like a really important institution because everyone has it. Everyone has one, right? There's always a government. You think about the worst places in the world, or some of the poorest and worst places in the world, and they have no government, right? But by the same token, if you examine it closely, you can see how the government also functions as a mafia in the same as well. But anyway, so that's the thing, is that where the government fails, okay, which it does in many cases, right? The individual is the next line of defense, right? So I quit smoking, right? I could go to the convenience store and buy a cigarette right now if I wanted to. Buy cigarettes right now if I wanted to, but I just don't. Because I'm smarter than that, right? I'm much more clever than... I'm smarter than the average bear, right? And so in that same way, okay, the individual is the next line of defense, right? Where the government fails, the individual is the next line of defense, right? There's no provision for, you know, the government isn't doing this, that, or the other thing. Well, in that case, the individual, it bears some degree of responsibility depending on what the circumstance is. And then the next level of defense, right, is the community, right? So my brother-in-law, for example, right? I disagree with that, but I understand where you're coming from. I mean, it's more complicated than just like inherently evil. But I absolutely like this. There's a certain truth to that as well. It's not like an either-or kind of thing. That's true on some level, and it's true in certain ways, but it's not like inherently indicative of like the all-encompassing reality of like government, which is a very complicated thing. But anyway, what was I saying again? Hope I gotta get her to move along. But anyway, yeah, so the next level of defense is community, right? Like individual community, right? So people know each other, right? And they get social cues from each other, right? And so I know this guy, he's my brother-in-law, right? And he's a tobacco smoker, right? And I've told him many times, okay? But he doesn't really respect my genius, right? He doesn't look at the way that I see the world and give that its due diligence. And that would be fine, right? He doesn't necessarily have to think that I'm a genius, right? But my other peers, other people that we know, also aren't on the same page as me, right? So on a community level, right? So on an individual, so on a governmental level, on a society level, on a planetary level, right? We failed collectively. The people of the planet Earth have failed, right? On an individual level, I have worked around that, right? On an individual level, I have chosen something different And as a result, I have made the difference myself, right? Atlas, sort of Atlas-esque, right? Kind of like an Atlas Shrugs kind of thing, right? But anyway, now as it refers to referring to my brother-in-law, right? He failed, and he didn't just fail. He failed. It wasn't just the government who failed, and it wasn't just him who failed. Although both are true, absolutely, right? Both the government and him have failed, but on a community level, in terms of our peerage, in terms of people that we know, right? These are guys who work average person jobs. You know, these are not educated people, right? The people that we know. No offense to uneducated people, but we don't know a whole bunch of doctors and billionaires and geniuses, right? And so the expectations of him socially are very low, right? People that we know don't really care, or they don't see it as a problem, because it's a component of low-class people that, uneducated, low-class people, that tobacco smoking is relatively normal, right? So on a societal level, and even on a class level, even on the level of social class, right? And I think even on a gendered level too, because I think women smoke statistically less than men. I don't know for sure if that's true. You'd have to check that one. But yeah, ultimately as a society, right? So that's why you can't necessarily help somebody, but why it's also your obligation to try to help people that you know, right? Now, the thing is, another facet of this, of course, is that most social problems aren't really that important. Believe it or not. Oop. It depends. Ah, shoot. It depends on the social problem. A lot of social problems, well, actually it's not true. But definitely some social problems aren't as important as other ones. It kind of varies. But there is a large, broad stroke analysis where you see that most social problems are a series of failures. It's a series of failures from top to bottom, or I guess from bottom to top, depending on how you want to look at it. That is the cause of most social problems, right? It's like AIDS, it's like HIV, right? Okay, so how HIV works is there's a chain of institutions within the human body that dictate the immunological response, right? So a certain cell gets attacked by a disease or virus or whatever, right? And then those cells send signals to other cells, which send signals to other cells, which send signals to other cells. And at every point of that system, the system works. Well, in the case of HIV and other illnesses like the Black Death, I think, does this too, where it attacks a component in that chain. Okay? And because it attacks a component in that chain, the immune system essentially has no capacity to defend itself. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the problem is these to me, these don't seem like these aren't real problems. Like healthcare and charities and stuff. I don't know. I don't know the specifics of that. I don't know the specifics, like immigration. It's like whatever. Ultimately, immigration is a capital problem. Immigration has to do with the government, and the immigration only has to do with enforcement. Okay, the government has no role in immigration. Okay, other than enforcement, right? So when you're talking about immigration, you have to understand the government has nothing to do with immigration in the sense that they don't pay migrants to come here, right? Okay, who does that is companies. Corporations do that. The government is not handing out millions of jobs to migrant workers. Okay, the government merely enforces immigration or chooses not to enforce immigration depending on the needs, right? So if companies here in the United States didn't hire migrants, okay, and the reason they hire migrants is because they work for less, right? So you have a big company, you have like an agribusiness, or you have a guy who owns a farm in California. Ultimately, he pays those migrants because he wants to hire employees who work for less. And then it's just the government's question of whether or not they want to enforce it. Okay? But ultimately, the response still has the actual cause is the agribusiness from a certain perspective. It's not entirely that way. Well, the problem is that the bottom can hold itself accountable, right? The top doesn't always hold itself not accountable. It's like slightly more complicated than that, definitely. But there's some truth to that, too. Yeah, you have a lot of people who just refuse accountability. Absolutely. They just like don't understand. But there's a big disagreement among people, right? About what matters and what doesn't. Okay? And that's kind of part of the problem, right? You have one guy saying one thing and he says that this is what matters. And you have another guy who says this is what matters. And it's something completely different, right? And who's right and wrong is a more complicated question than that. I mean, like I said, when you talk about events like the Civil War and stuff, you know, that only lasted 5 years, right? That was a year that was a war that only went on 5 years. There's a possibility that lots and lots of that society is to a certain extent about conflict, and who wins and who loses isn't as apparent as quickly because it's a more complicated conflict on a fundamental level. And it's about the capacity of individuals to make their own choices and to make the right choices, right? And the capacity of society to recognize good decision-making versus bad decision-making. Shoot. Honestly, maybe I should just kill this Red Phantom. God. No! Did I just fight my way through this, actually? See, it's like even now there's no consensus about what right and wrong even is, or we're having this conversation, right? It's not like, oh, you know, those darn you and me aren't sitting here saying it's like, oh, those darn Nazis, right? Where this isn't, I'm not live streaming in the year 1940 or 1939, and we're not or 1941, I guess. We didn't enter the war until 41. You know, we're not having that conversation. We're having a very different conversation. Oh. And so it's still up for debate. It's right within the. It's still unknown who's going to win in terms of like what the future holds. Okay. But yeah, I mean, the thing about the government is just more complicated than that. But yes, definitely, right? Like feudalism, right? Feudalism is the government. It's not really the government, right? But it's something kind of like a government, right? And feudalism is purely corrupt, right? To a certain extent. It theoretically represents the rule of law, but in point of practice, it's just a bunch of guys robbing, you know, a bunch of guys, you know, getting protection money from farmers, right? So it's like, you know, you're a lord and you're like, well, you know, I own all this land and then the people who work for me and I get a cut of all the food they make. It's like, well, why do they own the land, right? Why do lords own the land? That's a really interesting question. But to imply that peasantry, right, that feudal peasantry are a bunch of saints doesn't make any sense either, right? Like feudal peasants, I'm sure are, you know, you need law enforcement among feudal peasants for a reason, and it's because feudal peasantry are probably like dishonest or something. I don't know. I'm not an expert on feudal peasantry or crime in the Middle Ages. I can say for sure though that one thing I will say for certain though, this is important to note, is that some of the worst and most notorious criminals of the Middle Ages were lords or were knights. Okay, so some of the biggest crooks were not peasants, right? So like Robin Hood is kind of a myth. Well, no, that's the joke, is that lords actually didn't go to bat all the time. It varied, yeah, actually. To a certain extent, yes. But also, in some cases, no. Because you'd still have a peasant levy that was fighting for you, right? So if you were a lord in medieval England, when it was time to go to war, right, you call up a peasant levy, right? So you have so you're a lord and you have all this fancy armor on and all these fancy weapons and you spend all your time training. But when you actually go to war and fight, you have a bunch of guys with pots on their heads and sharp sticks backing you up, basically, right? So it's kind of the irony is that that's sort of true in some cases, but it's also partially a myth because a component of feudal systems, depending on where you were and what you were doing at the time, involved peasant levies and stuff like that. But in places like Japan, historical Japan, that wasn't true. No, so Robin Hood's a great example of like a mythos in the sense that I think, as far as I understand, all of the biggest crooks were like knights and stuff because they have the connections, they have the means, they have, you know, they have They can ride horses, and they can, they know weapons, and they know where the trade routes are going. Well, feudalism, yes. I mean, the current government is not unlike feudalism, right? Feudalism is sort of like that. Although in practice, modern American culture has such an emphasis on individual liberties that it sort of isn't. Like, where I live, for example, there's a lot of public land, right? Okay, so there's vast tracts of public land where I come from in Utah. But those are the kind of places that we'd go on vacation to. So, like, I never went to Disneyland. When we went on vacation, we went to public land. And if it had been someone else's land, we wouldn't have been able to go there. It wouldn't have been legal for us to go there. People would have chased us off with guns or something, right? So for me, public land is actually a really big issue. Public land is actually a really massive issue for me personally, because every time... yes, in many cases, yes. The biggest, I would agree with that. The biggest criminals are lords, in fact. But anyway, so public land to me is a personal issue because, like I said, growing up, when we went on vacation, we went to public land, right? So we would go to like Arches National Park. That's public land. We go out to the West Desert looking for rocks. Again, vast tracts of it were public land. Almost none of it was private land. So for me, it's a personal issue. At least in my state, right, where the government owns big, huge tracts of land. But that's actually really good if you want to go outdoors and you want to be in the desert and stuff. You want to have fun out there. Of course, a lot of people abuse that too. They're shooting road signs and stuff, and random junk like that. But that doesn't really matter as much as the fact that a huge component of my childhood is because the government had public land. And so you have these guys in the city here who've never been out to the desert and never enjoyed public land, who think that public land is a problem, and then you have business people in small towns here in the rural segments of the state who want that land for their own personal exploitation. And so I mean, if you go to Texas, there's nowhere to go. There's like nowhere to go outside because everything is private land. But if you're here in Salt Lake City, you can drive to a big beautiful salt flat. And they have like races out there and stuff. They have like car races out there and stuff. You can drive to a big, beautiful salt flat, and it's all public land. And the funny thing is, there actually are some strips of private land up there, and they're actually owned by major rocket companies and defense companies. But the interesting thing about them is, and this is where the story gets really interesting, because there's these big strips of land up in the north of the state owned by like big, huge rocket companies. Yeah. These big, huge rocket companies that own these big strips of land, okay? And these rocket companies, the land that they own is actually nicer than the land around it, in the desert around it, because cattle ranchers aren't allowed to graze their cows on that land. So if you go to the desert here, it's basically all sagebrush, especially along the highways. And sagebrush is kind of this big green plant, right? But historically, within Utah, the entire state was covered in native grasses. Okay, so there'd be like species of grass and stuff like that, right? In the time of the Native Americans, several thousand years or several hundred years ago, there would have been big, huge grass prairies. Now, on the land owned by the rocket companies, it's native grasses. Okay, there's like no sagebrush in those lands because cattle grazers, cattle ranchers, and cowboys and stuff aren't allowed to have their cows on that land because it's rocket testing land. It's land for like rocket testing and bomb testing and stuff like that. And so the land that the private companies own, in some cases, is actually nicer than the public land. But the problem is you can't go into those pieces of land either. Right, so it's ironic. There's like a profound irony there, right? It's like two sides of the same coin. You see what I'm saying? Where it's like how nuanced is that, right? Where it's like on one hand, the government represents like freedom, and yet the irony is that because the government represents freedom, that's like a problem. That's like the inherent irony. At least that's how it works in my state. I don't know. I don't live everywhere, obviously. But that's generally my understanding of the situation here in Utah. Oof. Watch me die to the pursuer. Yes, I can't wait to die to the freaking pursuer. Stab, stab. Yeah, you can see deer here too. Up in the university or up in the avenues or whatever. And so I've actually seen a lot of deer here. Boom. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Stamina! Stamina! And despite my failings, whatever it's called does all the work for me. That dumb denial does all the work for me. Love it. Yeah, so but there's some nice neighborhoods where I live, definitely. I can it's a short jog to the avenues and then I can be running around up there, and there's like some traffic because there's some roads that go up into the town to the north of where I live. And so there's some traffic up there, but it's relatively traffic free up there. So that's really nice. But it rained today, so I didn't run, which I kind of feel bad about. But happens. Oof. Well, that's sort of, yeah. So that's what we do growing up. You know, it kind of, to me, it represents like a cultural shift. Or I shouldn't say cultural shift, but it represents a difference in culture. You know. No, I love going to places in the middle of nowhere. That shit's awesome. I love that. Instead of going to some like urbanite crap hellscape, you know, you get to go to like, you know, your other option is like Disneyland, which is just like consumerism, just like a crappy consumerist place. Not saying that it's like all bad or anything, but like I'm really glad I didn't grow up going to places like Hawaii and Disneyland, and instead grew up going out into the middle of the wilderness, like picking up rocks and stuff, because there's a lot of really cool mineralogy here. So you'll find these beautiful bright green rocks because of copper. You'll find things like garnets, which are beautiful, absolutely incredibly beautiful stones. You'll find things like sunstone, which are these pretty little light yellow ones. We dug up agates; those were pretty incredible. We dug up fossils. We dug up whatever he calls them, trilobite fossils. Growing up, we dug up fish fossils. Growing up, that was really fun. I really like that. My mother never really took very good care of them, though, when we brought them home. But, you know, there's tons and tons of them out there, so I guess it's okay. But, I mean, you know, it was still awesome. Still the best thing about my childhood, probably, in some ways. Ultimately, what I think kind of made it bad was, like, we would drink... Oh, wait. What is... Can I not... So does it say I can't pick up the whole thing? Or did it give me a fragrant branch or not? No. Because I have too many human effigies. Okay. So yeah, I just eat a human effigy here. Yeah, I love going places in the middle of nowhere. That shit's awesome. I think as a kid I never really respected it, but as an adult it's like the best thing Best thing ever. And my uncles and stuff would never do it. They didn't really care for that crap. Of course, I don't have the time right now, but, you know. This is what my mom would always say. She'd always be like, Philistines. Or she wouldn't call them Philistines, but, like, they are. Absolutely. But, I mean, you know. It's just how it is. I mean, that's the joke, is that if people went out to the wilderness like they do to Disneyland, the wilderness would suck. Everything would be trashed all the time. Because you'd have yahoos out there. So it's kind of ironic. There's like the irony that, like, as somebody who was like trained from childhood to be like an intellectual, like, not everyone gets to participate in that, you know, as like a component of like their individual choices. But yeah, you know. Oh, come on. See, I wish I could go out to the middle of nowhere these days. But unfortunately, I got other stuff to do. Too much work to do here. Oh, did he already kick it? Oh, he did already kick it. Okay. Boom. There's strayed. Okay. Now we need urine. Wait, I wonder... Wait a minute. I forgot about urine so long ago. Dude, somebody... I think it was Gilgamesh Fate was like, urine... like, you should urine up, and I'm like, and I like forget about it all the time, because I never used it. I never have used it in like a long time. Okay, now we reset the area. But yeah, I mean, that's the nature of like progress, right? Is it, you know, you do more with less all the time. And that's what progress really looks like, you know. Utopianism, right? Like, this is the promise, or the idea of utopianism, right? And how utopianism doesn't exist because, like, first off, it's never attainable, right? There's no such thing as a utopia. And even if there was a utopia, you could always look back to a time. Oh, wait, I don't have the... Wait, did I... Oh, no, I didn't pick it up. I need that. I actually need that. So utopianism is unattainable, and also it relies upon, you know, the misery of others, right? Because, you know, because you look into the past, it's like, even if there's a utopia in the future, there's always going to be a non-utopia in the past, right? It's like a concept, conceptually. Well, but utopianism itself is still a necessity, right? The concept of utopianism is still this, like, necessary component of who we are as a people, because, or at least for me personally, right? Because it represents the capacity to attain more than we could ever have imagined, right? To attain a better tomorrow. And to, like, really, really strive for a better tomorrow. And to really do what it takes to earn a better tomorrow. Even if that doesn't necessarily look the way it should. What am I doing? Oh, curved no greatsword, yeah. What happens if I infuse this thing? Okay. Hold on, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. So I need strayed, I think. Why do I need strayed for this? Whatever. How do I want to do this? Whatever, we'll just go tear it apart. It's fine. You know, it's one of these things where it's like, and but that's like the inherent philosophical irony, right? Is it's like anyone can tell you what to do, right? And it's like, how do you know when someone's right or wrong? If everyone tells you what to do, or if telling people what to do is very common, how do you know the difference between what's good advice and what's bad advice, right? That's like an intrinsic philosophical question, right? It's like, what is the relationship between the self and the other, and the non-self, right? And it's like most people agree that the non-self is not a monolith, right? It's kind of the irony about Dark Souls, right? Is that the non-self is sort of like this monolith in Dark Souls. But does that make sense? It's like the philosophical construction of like the self versus the non-self, right? Like the idea being is that you are an individual in a society, right? Conceptually. How do you know when your society is good versus bad, right? Or how do you know what the issues with your society really are, right? And there's a big, huge like question about that on a fundamental level. It's like at the end of the day, I only know. You know, that's the thing about the self as like a significant component of the philosophical reality, right? Is that the self is actually really crucial philosophically, because gosh darn it, the self is actually really crucial philosophically because there's really nothing like it. It's like at the end of the day, I am me, and that's the only me that I know of, right? And so, you know, and there's science and reason, right? So there's also science and reason, and there's also like arbitrary faith, right? Which is also reasonable. Oh shoot. There's also like, I guess you could say arbitrary faith, but ultimately you have to make a personal choice, and you have to make the, you know, and if your goal is to make the choice that is the most critical, to make the most revolutionary choice possible, right? That means reshaping how you perceive the world, right? To a certain extent. Oop. You have to ask yourself this ultimate question, and that is, is a bird just? Actually, this is actually, oh shoot. There's actually they actually do this in the Bible. This is actually a Bible thing, where it's like, is a bird just, right? Like a bird goes out and he gets his own, and he like, well, I have to fight them because I'm fighting all bosses. So I could skip them, yes, but I'm not going to. Yeah, so this is a Bible thing, right? Where it's like a bird itself is not this like inherently morally just organism, right? Like there's a lot to do about the nature of like certain organisms, certain animals as being like morally just, right? And certain animals as being not morally just, right? But unfortunately, it's like a lot more complicated than that. Animals themselves don't necessarily possess an inherent moral justness or an antithesis to moral justness. You can make the extrapolation that an animal possesses a degree of moral justness or antithetical moral justness, but at the end of the day, an animal is merely an organism, right? And so this is actually a Bible thing where it's like there's a part in the Bible where he's like the crows, Jesus in this particular case, so it's New Testament, where Jesus is like the crows, God feeds them, and so how much more important are you then, right? So I'm not super educated on like mainstream philosophy, but I am familiar with that part of the Bible. And so the premise being is that The premise being is it animals like us do possess a moral justness from the epistemological lens, right? Because they represent a component of the natural world, which services the existence of humankind, right? Does that make sense? And so in doing so how much more important are your decisions then? Does that make sense? Yes, hello, Dobus. You ready to watch me die to Rune Sentinels again? Oop. Come on. Oop. Ah, man. Oh, boy. Oh, come on. Gosh. This is like such an easy boss, too. Ugh, this is like such an easy boss. I'm like, ugh. We're all the way in +5. Oop. Yeah, buddy of mine. He moved to Norway, and the culture there is totally different surrounding like the ideation about like the government and the self. And I think, well, it's definitely a deeply flawed place because it still has the same kind of problems we have here. Like there's still crime and stuff there. But I've definitely seen some films, and it feels like the attitude is very different than here in this country. In terms of like the relationship between the government and the self is like philosophical constructs, like from a philosophical perspective. Kind of ironic. We think of them as having less a cultural personal responsibility, but they have more of a cultural personal responsibility because of the nature of their society and government. Ironically, they're like really obsessed with personal responsibility culturally. Okay. Number 1 down. Oh, bad. Real bad. Real bad. Very terrible. But thanks for asking. I've been dying to Rune Sentinels, which is always a great sign. Gotta love that. Gotta love dying to Rune Sentinels. At all. Oh god. Fudge. Please don't attack me. Oh, come on. Wait, why wasn't I denied? The frames, they do nothing. Yeah, it's okay. It's how it is. There's just no easy answer, you know? Like, I could have 99 vigor and a bunch of armor and it still wouldn't work. It's probably okay, I don't know. He actually lives in Norway. Norway is the country he moved to. His wife is Norwegian. I said to myself, what a lucky bastard. What a lucky, lucky bastard. He works in like sales or something, I don't know. But yeah, and he's like having a kid. because you get like a ton of weeks off. Like you're guaranteed a ton of weeks off. You're guaranteed like cheap as hell childcare. You're just like all kinds of stuff like that. So it's not a surprise he's having a kid. Although it's his first kid, I think he's 30, so he's about the same age as me. First kid at 30, I guess. I think is his wife older? I don't know. His wife might be a year or two older. Or she might be a year or two younger. I don't know. I don't really know her very well. I kind of knew the guy before he met her. And so when I'm talking to him, it's like I don't even know. I really just don't even know her. It's like at all. But, yeah, I mean, you know. Gotta admit, I'm a little jealous. Of course, it's cold as hell there, too, so... You know, not that it's, like, super warm here, either. And I guess I could live in Florida. Yeah, but he hasn't said anything about, you know, things going bad. Thing is, importing stuff is really expensive. But, like, how much stuff do you need to import necessarily, right? Like, you only need, like, one PlayStation. You know what I mean? So, like, probably my computer would cost twice as much. But I'd also save, like, a huge amount on my rent every month. Oop. And I'd also probably... I might be making more, too. Not that I'm complaining too much. I like it here. Just fine. Got plenty to do here in this country. Oop. Oh, come on. Oh, you bastards. One McDonald's cheeseburger over the mail? Nah, forget that. Oop. Well, they can make McDonald's cheeseburgers there. I think the cost on that isn't even that high anymore compared to like us. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, probably you're gonna pay more for fast food, and there's like less fast food joints. Yeah, burger. Well, no, I don't eat either of those. I haven't had McDonald's in like years and years. I grew up eating a lot of McDonald's, but retrospectively, it's not something I... Nah, forget that. Nah, forget all that. Forget all of that. I cook like every meal I eat. Come on. Come on, stop! No! Nah, forget about Chuck E. Cheese. No, I don't cook McDonald's cheeseburgers. I cook other crap. I cook like bean stews and stuff. It's good stuff. I like it. There's actually McDonald's really close to where I live, but I'm like never gonna eat there. It's like the thing is I can cut up a potato and fry it here. Yeah, I know they don't sell that stuff at McDonald's. Yeah, you know why they don't sell that at McDonald's? Because it's actually based as hell. Bean stews are just straight up based as hell. Like 100% based. Just like full blown goated. Goated and based. So they're never going to sell that at McDonald's. McDonald's has a strict no based food policy as like a component of their corporate doctrine. Yeah, rip indeed. Dude, and the McDonald's near where I live also still has a play place too. So I guess I could go there and I could just like use the PlayStation. Yeah, I can't eat. I actually can't eat whatever it's called. I can't eat. You can't eat beans, really? It's interesting. I can't eat gluten. Personally, I'll get sick if I eat gluten. Of course, the bean stew also. You're on a diet? So you can't eat beans on a diet? It's weird. But hey, I'm not gonna judge. Yeah, I'll probably have a tofu with like tomatoes or something tonight. No, I'm definitely not panic rolling, actually. It's just bad execution. Okay. Come on. Oh, shoot. Just terrible execution. Like, just so pathetic. No! I zigged when I should have zagged. Now that they're here on the floor, it's going to be way harder. Oh. There we go. Never mind. We win. Easy. Easy game. Easy game. Anybody got any hard games? I need more stamina regen, I think. Oop. 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 Swag. Oh, I didn't even have the right ring equipped. Whoops. Okay. No beans on a diet? Isn't that usually the opposite of how it works? Don't they usually give you beans on a diet? Aren't beans like a hardcore diet food? I don't know. Well, soybeans are okay. Yeah, they're okay. Well, first off, you've tried tons of soybeans because it's in like everything, like soybean oils and stuff like that. If you're eating McDonald's fries, you're eating probably a ton of soybean oil. I don't know for sure, depending on what fast food joint. Oh, okay, yeah. Alright, beans have carbohydrates in them, I guess? I don't know. But anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, see, that's another great example, is like, in my opinion, and I'm not a doctor, so there you go. Interesting. Yeah, so I'm not a doctor or anything, but generally my opinion is, the only carbohydrate you really need to worry about, unless, well, so like, for example, I can't eat, whatever it's called, right? I can't eat gluten, right? But other than that, with that exception, the only carbohydrate you really have to worry about, to about 30 to 50 at max. I don't know, is it actually good? Do you actually feel better? Like, are you losing weight, and or does it actually make you feel better? Because my thing about the keto diet that I don't understand, or that I, like, whatever, is it's like, yeah, if you're drinking tons of alcohol, if you're consuming tons of sugar and alcohol, like, yeah, you're gonna have issues, right? So it's like, I don't really think it's necessarily fair to say that all carbohydrates are the same as, like, refined sugar and alcohol. Interesting. So, like, that's my only criticism of keto, is like a concept. And again, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know for sure. Yeah, I mean, sure. But I mean, that's not like inherently like bad. Dude, so you got the achievement? That's really cool. But other than that, I mean, I don't necessarily have. Yeah, though that's the thing. Is it sugar and alcohol? Wait, were you eating sugar beforehand? Oh, no achievement? That's lame. Were you eating sugar beforehand, or did you stop eating sugar because of keto? Well, yeah, they do, but they're complex sugars. It's more complicated. They do. Actually, that's a good question. Yeah, they do. Yeah, so I mean that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is I don't even know if like I feel like conflating carbohydrates like rice with literal sugar, I like question that. Yeah. No, I'm not saying like that it doesn't work or whatever, because obviously it's working. But I can't help but wonder if like the issue is refined sugars and alcohols and not just like carbohydrates in general. But I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. If the doctor says something different, then there you go. That's all there is to it. Yeah, no, that's the other one, is it cutting out alcohol. Yeah, cutting out alcohol and sugar, refined sugars is like massive. Like super big. Super big. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna get a respec here in like 2 seconds. Oh wait, how much do I need for this urine? Hold up, we need to check some stuff. We need to do like a bunch of digging here. Yeah, that's the problem, is like... That's my issue with that, is it's like I'm pretty sure like I said, like refined sugars and alcohols, and it's like all this other stuff about like all things I question. But if it... Oh wait, I need to kill... Ah, no, I need to go Belfry Luna. No! I don't want to go to Belfry Luna. I don't want to go to Belfry Luna. No! This is actually really good, though. This is actually really good, though. Yeah, I mean, if it works, it works. I don't know. I don't gotta think about it any more than that. So what do you eat in an average day then? Like what do you actually eat though? Yeah, go ahead. Get out of here, Elsay. Unlock that keeper. What do you like actually eat in a day? Like what does your average like meal setup look like? No. I guess I can just eat another. So no fruits? You really eat no fruits? So you're eating like almost entirely vegetables. Yeah, sure. That's standard. Yeah, I like monk fruit. That's good stuff, yeah. So when you say 5 to 7 cups of veggies, what does that look like? I'm actually very interested in this. No way! So you only eat blackberries? Is that like a fruit that you're supposed to eat or something? Or did they tell you specifically to eat blackberries, or you just like them? Because usually fruits are considered really good for you. Hold up. I gotta check something. Okay, how much is Attune Spells? How much is Denial? So I need 24 Faith for Denial. And 19 Int for Yearn. So... that's really close to just 30-30, honestly. I'm doing pizza. No, I don't need that. No, I never eat that stuff. Personally. I think sometimes I've had Doritos or stuff like that. Or I've had, well, no, I've drinking energy drinks more recently, but it's not really that. It's, I don't know, I needed to stop doing that, so I did. 40 ATN. So, let's see here. Broccoli, lettuce, kale, tomatoes, cauliflower, cucumbers. Okay, cool. Broccoli, lettuce, kale, tomatoes. No, meats have a lot of fats in them, so you're not actually supposed to eat that many meats, I think. I think you're supposed to eat mostly vegetables and then some meats. Yeah, I don't know. People are like crazy. They're like, oh, I can only eat meats or whatever. No, I think you can't only eat meats. I'm not sure. Well, you want to avoid that, yeah, but that's for other reasons. Oh, no, well, the thing about energy drinks is they have B vitamins in them. So you probably... So I usually eat a B vitamin. I usually like my B vitamins 30. So wait, 20... 35? Oop.
No, of course.
No, of course not. What's the requirement on this thing? Oh, shoot. I unequipped it. 15. So I only need like 19 and then like 25. There's no way that a bow and arrow is better than... Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be really focused here, actually. Wait. Yeah, I'm like that. I'm like that drill candle tweet with my ADP. But hey, you gotta get those iframes. Those dirty, dirty iframes. Just do all the work for you. Has he? I think the issue with that is there might be long-term problems with it. Like, I don't know. But that's the impression I got. Because I guarantee you... Well, I mean, supposedly. But that's definitely not what our ancestors were reading, I don't think. Wait. Oh, I'm over-invested in ADP. I'm way over-invested in ADP. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, that's good to know. Hold up. What is it again? Agility, the S2. Okay. So we need 116, and we have 116. Okay, so we just wasted 10 points for nothing. So we'll just go all the way to 60. How much? Oh. I'm gaining like 3 damage for 10 points. Okay. What about strength? Oh, okay, I'm unarmed. What's going on there? Okay, so wait, why is it going Dex again? Oh, I know I'm going Dex. Okay, we got this. We got this. This is fine. This is totally fine. Yeah, I was thinking about doing a pure physical setup, but then I remembered Belfry Luna, and I'm like, okay, that's not possible. I can't. Yeah, it's nice talking to you. Thanks for telling me about your diet, though. That's actually really interesting. I might consider doing that or something, or trying that out, putting more vegetables in my diet. That's actually really, really cool. So thank you very much. Clear bluestone. Dark clutch. Dark Clutch. Bring Steel Protection? And then we'll go Stamina Ring. Okay, this is... Oh, wait, we don't... shoot. Whatever. Wait. Rob Flynn. Dark. Yeah. Yeah, usually I would summon Glencore too on New Game. Where is it? Old Leo. Ring of Blades. Well, the thing about processed foods is that doesn't like... Most of the time processed foods aren't probably that bad for you. I don't know for sure. I'm not like an expert on it. But I think processed foods, the main issue with processed foods is that they're very expensive. But I don't necessarily think that processed foods are like inherently bad for you. I don't even eat eggs. But apparently people think eggs are really good for you. I don't know. I might try to add more leafy green vegetables though in my diet though. That guy put us up a good point. What I'll do tonight is I'll have tofu with I'll have some tofu with yeah, so I am actually a vegan, but I take a vitamin. Is how I do it. I take a big old vitamin every day. So this morning I woke up and I took a big old vitamin. Big old B vitamin. So if you're not doing that, it's probably a lot tougher to do. Do I have the setup? No, I don't have the setup. I need the setup here. Okay, we need to take that off. We need that though. We need our free bonus gimme of HP. And we need to do, or no, we don't. We need to take fire off. You know what I might try here actually? I might try pyromancies actually. Wait, wrong one. I might actually try pyromancies here. Just to give it a shot. Yeah, there's only 3. Because you get one from Goofball. Yeah, Straight Falcon. Yeah, he knows. Yeah, Straight Falcon and what's his face? He's very much right about that. I don't know. I don't eat them. But I've heard that. Definitely. I just don't know. I'm sure they're fine to eat, honestly. I find it hard to believe they're like bad for you. Yeah, you don't want that. That's my opinion. I think that's a bad ring. I think it's like Chaos Blade, where it's like not really very good. It's like the sort of thing that seems like it'd be really cool, but it actually doesn't really do anything for you. It only works on hexes too, so you can't use it to like buff pyromancies or anything like that. Oh man, that stings. There we go. Yeah, I wish it buffed other kinds of magic. I really wish it buffed other kinds of magic and be a lot better. Because it's only hexes, it basically only affects Dark Orb. Nope. No! No! I know. Can you believe that? Can you believe this game And just the crap it puts me through. That's what I get for not having what's this called, bound. For not having denial bound. Gotta just put the denial on. Remember, when in doubt, denial. It's a little too goated. Denial. Oop. Okay, that was really goofy. I could honestly probably run past some of these. I don't know. The only thing I do is I don't eat meat. I don't eat sugar and I don't eat meat. And then I don't eat... I try to avoid things that are not... that are like from faraway places. Which I don't always succeed with. I actually fail with that a lot. Yeah, it's miserable. It's okay. I actually like it. Oh, interesting. I try to avoid alcohol. I was drinking a bunch of energy drinks more recently, but I stopped doing that at some point. Oop. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Shoot, I remembered I gotta do something. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I remembered something. I gotta do. Do you ever praise? Do you even praise, bro? Praise the sun? Oh, that covenant? No, never. The covenant is garbage. Does nothing. Dude, that's so crazy. That's like actually really, really, really bizarre. Well, I wouldn't say bizarre, but like... how do I... Oh, I just die. Like this, actually. Let's just do this. Yeah, so I used to... Oh, well, it's not garbage, because the Covenant does nothing for you. You get, like, bonus miracle damage, and then the Covenant is impossible to grind out, and then it does nothing. It literally just does nothing. Denial is OP in all the games. Denial is just OP in general. Denial is the best spell that's ever existed. It's like, I literally have Denial, and I've been in that covenant like one time in my entire life. Like, I don't know what that says. I legitimately have no clue what that says. Whoa. How do I want to do this? Well, you use Covenant and Champions to make the game more miserable for yourself. Just to really stick it to yourself, real good and hard. Just to make sure everybody knows you're a lunatic. Or that's true, yeah. I've used I technically have used Abyss Walker's Covenant though. Absolutely. Okay. Let's see how this does. Come on. Dumb game. No! No! Okay, we're going back to Dark Orb. This is a Dark Orb one. I don't think Pyromancies are the way here. I looked at that damage and I'm like, it's okay. Not enough though. Also, I don't have Denial. Yeah, I can't deal with the online stuff, personally. Like I said, I play League of Legends. If I want to play against other players, it's the easiest way to do that. I don't have to worry about like learning new weapons or anything like that, or learning new spells or whatever, you know. Like I just queue up. Like how League of Legends works is you queue up, you lose, and you just go to the next game. And that's how League of Legends works. And for that, it's good enough. Well, I mean, that's how PvP works in general, but that's how League of Legends especially works. We need green. Green? What's in this slot? Sure. Oh, does it really? You're right, actually. I think it's the most broken miracle in all the games. Just like, period. Absolutely. But I did not know that it did that. I actually haven't played around with Faith yet in Demon's Souls. I know it's like really good. But I haven't played around with it. Or that supposedly it's really good, I don't know. Obviously I'm gonna... Well, that's the thing, is it, like, inevitably, if you kept laddering in Mortal Kombat, you'd eventually lose. But in League of Legends, you lose like every other game. You're like guaranteed to lose like every other game, basically. Unless you're doing something like wildly specific that only like really good players know or something. Oh man, come on. Come on, you game. You damn game. Always killing me. No! Yeah, I mean, that's true. League of Legends is mostly the same, I think. Oh, well, people get addicted to it. But, like, other than that... Oh, man, why am I screwing this up so bad? I'm like not aware of where their hitboxes are. Oh, there we go. No. It's kind of crazy. Like Dark Souls is it's like a PvP game, but then it's like a game where most people don't even really care about PvP. I think because it's just so well made. It's just so brilliant. I don't know. PvP in this game has just never really like inspired me. I've never thought to myself like, oh yes, I can't wait to try this build in PvP. Like it doesn't work. Like when I think like that, I want to play League of Legends. It's like I'm thinking to myself like, oh, you know, it'd be cool if I went like this dumb item on this dumb champion. It's like how I think, and so it's like I don't understand like Dark Souls PvP. Not that it's bad. Just that I don't get it. It's like never happened to me in my entire life where I said to myself like, wouldn't this weapon be so fun to use in PvP? But I do love some of that stuff on YouTube. Like there's one where it's the guy playing where the guy is like Pingu. He's Oop. No! No! I mean, I'll use Faith like a ton. I'll figure out a way to use Faith like crazy. Eventually, I will use Faith like mad. Like a madman. Yes, it's like actually really insane. And if I had to do like invasion after invasion, this would be impossible. If like I was getting invaded every 5 minutes, this would literally be impossible. It's like already insanely difficult. Well, not insanely difficult, but it's already difficult enough. It's like I'm dying to stupid Belfry gargoyles. I think its level design is pretty good. I actually don't like it as much as DS3 or DS1. Every time I play DS3, I'm like I played DS3 for an event a couple days ago, and we lost, by the way. So me and another, so they got invited to a Souls tournament. It was actually really fun. Like, it was actually really, really, really fun. Although I think the guy I was teamed with was kind of salty at the end of it, which, like, is fine. You know, it's like, whatever. It happens. But anyway. But I enjoyed myself. I had so much fun. And, it was, like, a really, really, really good use of my time, and it was a lot of fun. What was I saying? But, like, I was thinking to myself, like, oh, wow, DS3 is so much better than DS2. The whole time. I'm sitting there playing it. Oh! Oh! Oh, dirty, dirty iframes. Yeah, that's the other problem with PvP is a lot of twinking and stuff like that. A lot of twinking, which like is fine. Whatever. I'm not gonna sit there and I mean, like, that's the thing about League of Legends is you'll play with so many Smurfs for like no reason. For literally like no reason. It's like, why the heck is this person in this lobby? Like, what is this guy doing? Well, the reason he's doing it is because he's tired of losing to people of his own level, so he has to play with people worse than himself so he can win again. It's like losing is just like part of that's a real problem with smurfing. Is like there's the issue where it's like they don't understand the implied social contract. They're like losing is part of the deal. Like you're supposed to lose sometimes, right? Like if the system is working, you are supposed to lose sometimes. You're absolutely 100% supposed to lose sometimes if the system is working. Like, the system should be matching you with players of your skill level, and then if the system is matching you with players of your skill level, they should be beating you consistently, right? And so that's the problem is, like, and so in League of Legends, there's all these people who are way higher rank who have, like, way lower rank accounts, and there's, like, tons and tons of them, and, like, everyone who's high rank, like, pretends it's not a problem. They just, like, lie about it and stuff. And it's because they don't want, they want to try stuff out, which I guess is understandable. But, like, definitely, like, whether they realize it or not, I think there's a subconscious component to the whole thing where it's like they just don't want to lose. And it's like when you... It's like if the matchmaking system functions, you are guaranteed to lose. Like, if you couldn't lose... Like, so the irony is they represent, like, a breakdown in the matchmaking system's function. Because, like... Because they have like an account where they win like 10 games in a row, and it's like that's a breakdown of the system. They don't realize that that's like the system not working. It's like, oh well, we want to experiment. It's like, okay, we'll experiment on your own time, experiment on your own account. Like, if you're that good, you should be able to experiment with anything, and like it should work. But I mean, it's like whatever. Who cares? If winning mattered, you like. It's not like I get paid per game. I win. You know what I mean? I don't get a stiff tenner every time I win a game of League of Legends. Oop. Blast. Blast. Come on. Gentlemen. No! No! You fools. You foolish gargoyles. Bad gargoyles. Bad. Come on. How to train your 6 gargoyles. Oh, God. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Almost there. Oh, wow. Uh-oh. Shoot. I mean, whatever. It's all a pyramid scheme anyway. Is the thing about PvP. Like, it's all just like well, not all PvP. That's actually the nice thing about Dark Souls PvP is it's kind of not. Like, yeah, you're getting cheesed in Undead Settlement or whatever, but like, at least there's no ranking system, so I guess it doesn't matter, right? It's annoying. Well, the thing is, if you're no, I love Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 is my favorite of the three. No, that's the point of any matchmaking system, is it's supposed to put your MMR to 50-50. You should be coin flipping every game. Like, that's the point of the MMR system. If it's not 50-50, it's either because you're underrated or you're going to move up as you continue to play, or because you've gotten worse and you're going to drop, or something like that. Yeah, the teammates are really annoying. Absolutely, the teammates are very, very annoying. Absolutely. Well, sometimes I like them. Sometimes they say funny stuff. Sometimes they say funny stuff. Sometimes they're like do something really funny, but most of the time they're actually just cringe as hell. Yeah, absolutely. But it's just part. You just have to get used to it. Is the thing, or at least if you want to play it. Yeah, I mean, in a fighting game, you can do, you know, in a fighting game, yeah, exactly. No, it's true. It's absolutely true. I used to play Pokemon Showdown many years ago. Many years ago, I played Pokemon Showdown, and it was actually a lot of fun. Like, it was a very unique game. Very, very, very unique game. A lot of like stalling and stuff, though.
He king. Bearer, you seek.
What's the issue with fighting game monetization? Or isn't the monetization pretty standard? Isn't it just like... Hold on, we gotta look at these AR differences here. Okay, so first off we go Flynn's ring. Flynn's, where's Flynn's ring? Where is LaFlynn's ring? There it is, Flynn's ring. And then we go... Chloranthy, and then we go Leo Ring, and then we go Ring of Blades. Okay, we take this off. Okay, so that's 220 plus 178. 220 plus 178 versus 220 plus 178. So we're losing about 80. We're losing about 80-ish physical for like 200 dark damage. What about Nil Greatsword? So that's like, can I even wield this? Yeah, I can. What's the scaling on this though? It's mostly strength scaling. Yeah, Hatsu's okay. I didn't hate it or anything. I wouldn't play it again. But I didn't like hate it or anything. Let's see here. Where am I right now? We got more time to do this later, I guess. No, I think I'm locked in here. I don't think I want to like go physical or anything until like the very end. Maybe the very end I'll do some physical stuff, but it's like just not important to do physical. League of Legends really isn't that snowbally if you know what you're doing. I like for a long time thought it was super snowbally, but it's not that snowbally. Actually, I don't know. I've never played like any of those games. I didn't grow up with fighting games. I know for a lot of people globally, fighting games are really important. But for me, they're not, and they never have been. Like, I didn't grow up playing fighting games. Me and my brother weren't playing fighting games, nothing like that. Oop. Ah, come on. Oh, there's like a bunch of versions of it, and you were locked out of the latest, the better ones. I guess is what you're getting with this, or where you're going with this. Honestly, I think the cringe teammates like stand out in MOBAs too. Like they're actually not indicative of the norm in a lot of cases. Oh shoot! Oh come on! Well, let's do it again. I mean, it's not pay to win, right? Like it's just like dumb skins, right? Like, can't you, do you get like a sexy Chun-Li? I'd pay money for that. If I played Street Fighter, I'd be like, hell yeah. Give me that sexy Cammy skin. And I'd equip that. And everyone would know immediately. Oop. Oh, okay, I see the issue. That's fair. I see the problem. Okay. See, at least in League of Legends, you don't have to do that. So it like kind of is pay to win, basically. Unless you want to be stuck playing only Cammy. Yeah, League of Legends isn't that snowball. You just have to know how to work it. I think it seems really in some cases, it can be really snowbally. But you have to like lock down and just like play like a shitty long game. And you can totally flip a game. Absolutely. But you have to be like prepared for it. You have to like start from the beginning of the game and like lock it down. Oh, come on. Why don't I have Dark Weapon? No. No. Why don't I have Dark Weapon? I need that. Yeah, that's the problem. Is like that's bad design. Like a game like that should never go to like should never go to like 2 hours. Like that's the stupidest thing in the world. That's another thing about League of Legends is they are like. Most League of Legends games, like 99.9% of League of Legends games, never go to like even like an hour. Like it's like 1% of 1% of League of Legends game go to an hour, which I think is incredibly good design. I think games should just end at some point. Like there should just like somebody should just be adjudicated a win at some point. That is really weird though, where the skins cost 3 times as much. Dude, I don't know. People buy that crap in droves though. Like if there's like a beach Chun-Li skin or whatever, where she's in a bikini, and people will literally like buy that so hard. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, it will like. I actually think it's more important for it to just end, because like people have stuff to do. Like, the most important thing is that games just don't go infinitely long. It's like the problem is like Monopoly. It's like you're playing Monopoly at some point. Where it's like it just goes on forever until somebody hits like a hotel space. Oh. Not that I've played a ton of Monopoly. I played a game of Axis and Allies like a really long time ago with a guy I kind of knew. And, it was actually really funny because I beat him. I beat him real bad. It was really funny. Because he was the Soviet Union, and I was the Germans. Or the Nazis or whatever. And I was like, hey, what if I just took all of my oh shoot. What if I just took all of my weapons off of the Western Front and just like pushed them all east? And I did, and it worked. Oh shoot. And I crushed them. But it came down to a couple really lucky dice rolls. It was really funny though. I really enjoyed that. Dark weapon. We need a dark weapon. Oh wait, we do. Oh shoot. Okay, we need. No. We need this. We need this too. We need urine too. Urine is like really important. I should try to use urine on. Yeah, the run back's okay. I don't like hate it or anything. It's okay. Or no, I guess I don't need urine here? I don't know. It's okay. It's an okay boss. I think it's like a great example of like generic Dark Souls 2 derpiness. The way that the boss like slides towards you, stuff like that. Like I think Lost Sinner is the reason why I like Dark Souls 3 more than Dark Souls 2. It's like crap like Lost Sinner, where she kind of just like slides to you. Yeah. Iron Keep run back, that's really bad. That's like really unbelievably terrible. Run back here is pretty lame. It's not like the worst thing in the world, but it's pretty lame. Like anything in the DLCs, I guess. No, I guess some of the DLC ones. Yeah, Iron, stupid, whatever his dumb name is. Sir Alon, yeah. You can do that? Is that an option? Because I actually just barely figured out a setup for it. This last pass. We're over halfway done, by the way, guys. Oh. We're literally over halfway done. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Well, it's worth a ton of souls, though. So it's like actually kind of like designed to be done that way. They're worth like a huge amount of souls. Oh. Like a warm breeze. Oh, come on. Come on, listener. Gonna act a fool. There we go. I did it. I'm a freaking genius. Now, Lost Sinner, you'll be mine. Dude, you know what? I have to give mad props to the Dark Souls 2 developers. They really do understand Western culture. You know, like there's 2 homeless women in this game. Like that's very America. Like they truly understand our culture. With the sheer number of disheveled homeless women. Who are presumably on drugs, like methamphetamine. They truly do have a deep understanding of American culture. With the number of disheveled, screaming homeless women that are in this game. There's like 2. Very impressive. Oh. Melentia and the Lost Sinner. Genius. Oh. Oh. Ah, come on. There you go. Lol. Victory. A new record. Oh, do you use Dark Fog here? Really? Iron Keep being Iron... Yeah. Well, we love consumables, that's for sure. Definitely. I love Fragrant Branches of Yore. I think I think they like Fragrant Branches in Asia, too. But yeah, I love bright blood. I love eating bugs. Yeah, so like let's look at this thing here. So orange juice, okay, we love that. Americans love orange juice. Whatever the hell this is, we love this. We love whatever the hell this is. Yellow things, we love these. We love giant we love giant urine crystals. We love passing kidney stones, so that's really true. Mushrooms, we love eating mushrooms. I love white mushrooms from the grocery store. Amber herb, yeah, we love picking just random herbs, I guess, and eating them. Some moss you can eat too, yeah. Americans love this. This is a driver's license. We love eating those. Dead Rising? No, I'm not going to play freaking Dead Rising, probably. Not right now, anyway. See, this is soda pop. We love soda pop. Here's some Dr. Pepper and some Coca-Cola. Yeah, here's some mint. We love mint in America. Knives. We love knives in America. Have you ever been to a mall where there's all the knives and stuff? Here's some chocolate oranges. We love those. Here's some something spices. We love that here in the United States. And then here's all the some stuff. And there's some yeah, all the stuff Americans love. Right there. They know our culture really well. Yeah, just all kinds of stuff that Americans love. But definitely the chocolate oranges, yeah. So, like I was going over, right? Orange juice, big one. Chocolate oranges right here. I love chocolate oranges. These ones are like lemon flavor, and this one's like, you know, blue raspberry, I guess. Coins. Americans love coins. I got a coin on my desk right here, so there you go. Here's some malted milk balls. Here's a candle. Americans love candles. And yeah, here's yeah, chocolate oranges, definitely. There you go. These are some other candies too. And yeah, some lemon heads, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I don't really eat much candy. Okay. Now we gotta go to the stupid other thing. We gotta go this way. Oh boy, my favorite part of the game. My favorite part of the game. Can't you tell how much I love this part of the game? Oh boy. Time to just have so much fun with this part of the game. Hooray. Yeah, okay. That's fine. How can I level up, actually? I don't need this. I don't need Old Witch's Soul. Oh, I can. I totally freaking can, I think. Me? I wish I was up late grinding. Yeah, it's only like 9. Oh, okay, yeah. No, I gotta go into the grocery store like right after this. I have to like end stream and put my pants on. Well, I want to go to 3 hours if I can. Well, no, because what happened was, I don't know if you were here for this, but basically YouTube was like bugged like half an hour at 6. So I had to like delay the stream till 6:30. And that's why I'm doing later than usual. But I guess I could end stream a little bit early. I look at the stream duration. So whenever I'm checking the time, I don't look at the time. I look at how long I've been streaming for. And so I'm at like 2 hours and 45 minutes right now. And so that's what I'm judging by. But I could end at, yeah. But I only need to get like one thing from the store, which is tomatoes. So if I end at 9:30ish, I just put on my pants really fast, and I just run over there, and I just buy 2 tomatoes and maybe some cilantro, and I just come back home. And then I get the tofu in the salt water, and I prep the rice. Oh, those were good. They were really good. I really liked them. They were really, really, really delicious, actually. They were, like, super good. Because you get that really tasty, crispy, like, cornstarch shell. And then you get the really good tofu flavor. Yeah, the trick is you want to salt your tofu beforehand. So you want to put it in some salt water for, like, at least for, like, maybe an hour or something. Very good. Very, very, very good. I was really happy with that, actually. I found that to be an exceptionally good food. Very delicious. Very, very, very delicious. Yeah, I loved that. It was so good. I'll consider playing Dead Rising, you guys. I don't have nostalgia for it. Ooh, buffalo sauce? Yeah, why not? I don't like buffalo sauce personally. I find it a little too acidic for me. But I understand people like buffalo sauce. Yeah, that's a great... Yeah, absolutely. I would absolutely do that. 100%. Like, you could do a barbecue... Yeah, buffalo sauce sounds amazing, though. Absolutely. Usually I do, like, a chili sauce. I do, like an Asian-style chili sauce. Just because it's tofu, you know? So it kind of feels a little more natural. But yeah, that's a brilliant idea, actually. Yeah, and in fact, actually, I put some almond flour in it, too. So it was a mixture of cornstarch and almond flour. And it didn't really do that much for it, but it did a little something for it. It gave it like a little bit of a richer flavor to it that I thought was really good, actually. Yeah, but I don't know if I do that again. I think that's a lot more work because almond flour is relatively expensive. But I did find it very good. That was really good, yeah. And so if I could do it again, I'd probably do something like that, yeah. Yes, it was very delicious because almond flour is actually really good. The problem with almond flour is that it doesn't stick together into cakes or cookies, right? So if you're if you want like a really rich cake or cookie, what you do is you do like half almond flour, but they end up being really crumbly. But you can end up with really, really rich like breads and stuff. So I might actually up the amount of almond flour I put in my bread here coming up, but it does make it a lot more crumbly. You end up with a much crumblier product. Yeah, so what I do is most of what I eat is like this homemade bread that I make, and I use gluten-free flour, a little bit of fake sugar, a little bit of like stevia leaf or monk fruit or something like that, and then I put in a little bit of almond, cinnamon, and then salt. It's not as big a deal as you think. The thing where it matters is stuff that boils. So like cooking rice. Like if you're cooking rice outside of a pressure cooker, it can change it. Because my mom would always have issues cooking rice when we were growing up, and it's because the pressure at sea level is slightly higher or lower or whatever, or it's lower. Yeah. So if you're boiling stuff, that only affects like noodles and stuff mostly. I guess maybe it might affect. How was life in the Gulf, by the way? Was it really awesome? Was it just like summer all the time? Did you actually get to go out and like interact with the people, or were you like, did you spend like all your time in like a town that's like around your base or whatever? Interesting. Oh, okay. I see. Oh, Leighton. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, yeah. Sorry, I meant when you said the Gulf, I assumed you meant the Gulf, like Saudi Arabia, which I know there's a lot of people stationed there. There's like tons of people stationed there, and in like Oman and stuff, and Kuwait and all those places. This is what I assumed you meant. No, Leighton. Yeah, I've been to Leighton many times. Because there's like conventions and stuff that take place in Leighton. It's a nice town. But it's a little bit colder up there. A little bit chillier. Oop. It sounds awesome. Sounds like it's really nice beach and stuff all the time. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard bad stories where the, like, the people will try to sell you drugs and stuff. That's the only thing about the Gulf states. That's why I saw this thing on TV, like, years and years ago where this guy, he was, like, a teenager in the Middle East, and his dad worked for, like, a petrochemical company, and they, like, sold him a bunch of drugs, yeah. So it's, like, tough to have kids there and stuff. And it's like, where are you even going to send your kids for school? You know what I mean? Like, it's, like, super weird stuff like that. And, like, the oil companies and the military and stuff probably have provisions for that. But it's still just, like, really weird. I mean, I'm not saying it's, like, a bad idea or anything, per se. But I've definitely heard at least one story that was, like, really bad. And then the kid spent, like... And then what happened was the kid got arrested for having drugs, and he spent, like, 10 years in a Saudi prison. And there was nothing they could do diplomatically. Because Saudi Arabia or whatever is, like, an ally. So if you're caught with, like, anything there... And then the local probably doesn't even face any punishment for it either. It's like crazy stuff like that, yeah. I don't know how true that is, but I saw a TV thing about it. And he had like an Israeli girlfriend. And she like broke up with him and stuff, and that was like a part of the story. But he spent like a huge amount of time in a prison. And it's like really hot all the time. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a shame that they can't do anything about it diplomatically, but by the same token, it's like a local problem as well. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I'm not opposed to going there or anything like that, but that's just the one story I've heard. Yeah, and you'll also have people like who will go there and they'll see like a public executions. There'll be like somebody who has like committed a crime, and they'll like take him out to the city square and like execute him. Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's probably why they keep them farther apart. Then they don't want the soldiers getting into trouble themselves. So, like Japan, that's a big issue, where soldiers will like cause problems. There's like literally a really famous case of soldiers who like murdered a little girl, or who murdered like a 15-year-old girl or something in Okinawa. Yeah. Where they don't want soldiers, and like most of the time it's not that kind of crazy stuff, but they still don't want soldiers getting drunk and causing problems and like looking bad. And you'll see stuff like that every once in a while. Oop. So like I knew a woman who grew up on a base somewhere in Japan, probably in Okinawa, and she said that like it was kind of like you were on the base the whole time. You didn't go to school in Japan or anything like that. You didn't go to Japanese schools or anything like that. You went to a special military school. Stuff like that. But I knew somebody who went to Saudi Arabia, and it was like, yeah, and apparently they saw an execution while they were there, which is really weird. Like, really, really, really weird. At least for us. Yeah. They literally beheaded some kid or something for some random thing he did. Yeah, I don't. It was like murder or something too. Yeah, so like some 15-year-old kid murdered somebody or something, and they cut his head off. Yeah, it was really weird. And I worked at a grocery store, and there was a customer coming in, some woman, and she was like complaining about that. Yeah. But I also saw somebody who I also met somebody who was a musician who went there, and she played in the U.S. Embassy, because you can't have public music there. You for concerts either have to be, I'm not sure if there's no concerts or if concerts have to be indoors or something, which like in some ways is kind of based, because I hate like loud music in public. That like really annoys me. So I kind of like that idea. But yeah, she played like some folk music or something in the U.S. Embassy, and there's a bunch of people that came to see her. It's like really interesting. But like going there on vacation would probably be pretty nice. I don't know. I guess if you're going there in business or something, because I watch a YouTube channel where he like catches wildlife out in the desert and stuff, and he's done a bunch of videos where he's been in like Oman and the Kuwait and stuff, like catching lizards in the desert and talking about them. And I thought, and like scorpions and stuff like that, and that was really interesting. But yeah, I don't know if I'd want to go there to like live or anything like that. Even if I had like a huge job in like a petrochemical company. It's probably not that bad, but I think in some of the places the laws are different. I think that's Saudi Arabia specifically. So I think maybe in like Oman and Kuwait things are different. But yeah, it's hard to say. It's like a modernization thing. Oh shoot. And it still works. I still like truck this enemy, yeah. Look at that. Utah. Well, in the rural places are a lot different than the city. The rural places are really weird. Yeah, so the more rural you go, the weirder it gets here. To a point that's like really insane, as you know. You know, like the FLDS type guys. But even the average people, the culture is a little different here. Definitely. I wouldn't call it like crazy different. But it's a little tiny bit different. Definitely a little tiny bit different from the rest of the country. I mean, I've lived here my entire life, definitely. So I'm used to it. To me, it's like kind of normal. I don't really think anything of it. Oh, about Utah? What? Oh. Apparently, I don't know. Growing up, I found the kids to be really nice, actually. Believe it or not. The kids that were mean were kids that were non-Mormons. The Mormons were weird, but I actually really liked them, retrospectively. I went to, like, middle school with them, and they were actually really nice. All the Mormon kids I knew. They were weird, but they were really nice. Actually. And their dads were like rich and stuff. Really, really nice guys. The kids I didn't like, the kids that I had issues with were kids that were non-Mormons, actually, growing up. But I also knew like lots of rich Mormon kids, so maybe like that has something to do with it. I went to a really poor high school here. Like a really, really poor high school here. Like football was the whole thing. Oop. Ah, come on. Like the whole culture was based around football here at my high school. And then there's like wood shop and stuff. And auto shop. And I took a bunch of those classes. It was okay. But it was definitely a really poor high school. Okay, I should probably call the stream right now. But thanks for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun talking to you. And thanks to anyone who did chat as well. Thanks to John Doe and Upgrade and Ralse and stuff like that. Bango, all these guys. Yeah, thank you guys. Yep, thank you, dude. And it's good to see you. And there's no stream tomorrow because I'm going to go to an alumni event at my college. So yeah, no stream tomorrow. But definitely stream on Friday. I think tomorrow's Thursday, right? Am I wrong about that? I don't know.